Alright, today we're gonna do a fluid change on the brake system on the Charger. As far as I know, it's the original brake fluid still. I checked it last week and it was pretty dirty looking. I vacuumed out some of the old fluid a little bit at a time and put some fresh stuff in last weekend, but I ran out of fluid. I'll go ahead and start pulling some of this fluid out and see how dirty it looks still after it had some fresh fluid swapped in with it. Alright, let's use that vacuum bleeder and pull some of that out. See, it's definitely not as bad as the Coca-Cola it looked like last weekend, but it's still kind of dirty. Anyway, so after putting the quart through, we're looking pretty good. This is most of the bottle, so it's a little discolored, but it's pretty good in the master now. Alright, so we used up a quart just cleaning out the master cylinder reservoir. So hopefully we got enough for the rest, but we got the fluid here in the motive bleeder, and we'll just go ahead and pour it in. Alright, well, we're on there good on the reservoir now, so let's see if we can't get a couple pounds in it. That'll get... Some people suggest pumping this up pretty high, but I think I'm just going to do like between 5 to 10 pounds. I don't think I want to put too much in there and risk blowing any reservoir seals or hoses off of this thing. And just in case anything goes wrong with these fittings, I'm going to wrap some paper towels around it because I really don't want brake fluid going everywhere. We'll do the same thing with the reservoir cap. Alright, we've arrived at the back. Got the vacuum bleeder hooked up to the bleed nipple on the back passenger side caliper. Well, that was less than excellent. Well, so we're being defeated by this first bleeder for now. Was already pulling on it harder than I was comfortable with, so got a 6-point socket and a 1/4 inch ratchet and was trying to pull on it, and it still didn't want to budge. So I sprayed some PB Blaster on it and we'll come back to it, but definitely don't want to wind up with a busted off bleeder. Alright, so we are having some better luck on the driver's side on the back. Bleeder already cracked loose, so we'll just go ahead and loosen it up with the vacuum bleeder on it and see how she comes out. So we've got some fluid coming out, not a huge amount. What happens if we run the vacuum a little bit? Yeah, it's coming out, not super fast. We'll go check the pressure on the bleeder, but we're getting fluid. Good news is it doesn't look nearly as dirty back here as it did at the front in the reservoir to begin with. So this definitely ain't a fast process, but compared to before, we got some clean looking fluid here. See, that's about how much came out in the reservoir back here. So the stuff that came out the driver's side at the back, not as terrible as what was in the master cylinder to begin with, but definitely far from good. Well, the fluid coming out up here looks pretty decent to begin with, but we'll let some run out and... Oh, here's the fluid from that front corner. It's pretty nasty looking too. So it looks like we're going to have just enough fluid to get the the front driver's side, and hopefully to get the back one too if we can get the bleeder loose. Well, So I think we struck out with this bleeder on this side. Even with a 6-point socket on it, all we managed to do was round it off. Alright, so we've gone ahead and unbolted the caliper. And we'll either hold it this way or something. I guess there's probably no good way to set it up on its own. But we'll hold it up this way so that the hose is at the highest point in the bleeder, and we'll crack the line loose and let some fluid run out there until we look clean. So again, we're just holding it here so the line's the highest point, just like the bleeder normally is. And we'll, I guess, try to hold it until we get clean looking fluid, or until I get bored and tired of holding it. So yeah, this gets real boring real fast. Arm's falling asleep. Frickin' bleeder screwed me. Well, it looks like we're finally starting to get some fresh fluid down here. You can kind of see it flowing through there and pushing the orange looking stuff away in the corner. So I think we'll tighten this up and put it back on. Imagine this, using brake parts cleaner for its intended purpose. Well, now that we've managed to bleed all 4 corners, time to get the bleeder disconnected and everything. I guess we'll let the pressure off it up here. Alright, well, we got everything back together under the hood. No tools left laying around. I still got a pedal, so that's good. We'll see how they stop us. Well, we're going down the driveway. Yep, they're working. And feel pretty good too. So hopefully they'll feel a little better now than they did with that old fluid. So we're going to clean out the motive bleeder now so we don't have brake fluid kept in it like they say. Now, I don't actually have denatured alcohol, so we're going to use some dish soap and water. Hopefully that should clean out the brake fluid pretty good.